A warm good morning to one and all present here. So today we have gathered here for the IIC program, which is on entrepreneurship, skill, attitude, and behavior. So now I request our placement officer, Mr. Dinesh Kumar, to welcome the gathering.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy morning to one and all present here. It's my pleasure to refine all of your presence in the concentration of the entire committee. Added with a lot of happiness to be here and to serve the welcome speech amongst the most learned dignitaries connected virtually. To begin this organized, this is being organized back to back on short duration. On behalf of the entire college, I would like to express my appreciation to all of you who sincerely committed to this series of sessions to make it as continuous success. I'm delighted to welcome our beloved principal, sir, Dr. D. Subramani. Sir, I welcome you. I'm excited to welcome our chief guest, Dr. M. Saravanan, Associate Professor, Department of International Business, PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Happy to welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm extending my happiness to the IAC convener, Dr. A. Vijay Chitra, staff coordinators and student members, and also the staff and student participants for the session. Again, thanks a lot for the opportunity given to me to welcome the gathering. Once again, I welcome you all and to begin the webinar with the support of God Almighty. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. It was really a pleasant welcome, and we are very cheerful with your welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I request Dr. P. Bhagiraj, Head, Department of Microbiology, to introduce the chief guest.
Very good morning, all of you. I'm indeed pleasure and honor to introduce today's chief guest and our most precious alumni of our college, Dr. M. Saravanan, Associate Professor. So very good morning, all of you. I am indeed pleasure and honored to introduce the chief guest of the day and the most precious alumni of our SNMV CAS, Dr. M. Saravanan, Associate Professor, Department of International Business, PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. And Sir has completed PhD in Commerce in the year 2014 from Vadiyar University, Coimbatore, and completed MBA in Human Resource Management from Alagappa University. And he has also passed SET in the year 2018. It's a great credit for the career, and he has also completed diploma in export management from the International Trade Institute and diploma in clearing and forwarding law and management from Small Industries Service Institute, Ministry of Commerce. And really, it's very proud to have you today, sir, because you have completed your PG program, Master of Foreign Trade, the year 2001 from our SNMV College of Arts and Science. And it's really happy for us. And Sir has produced more than 15 MPhil scholar and guided about more than 50 PG students. And he has many papers, more than 30 papers in the reputed journals at the national and international level, and one book in his credit. So thanks a lot for your presence here, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the lovely introduction.
Saravanan, sir, I think your mic is muted.
Ma'am, am I audible now? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, I thank Dr. Bhagiraj, sir, for his wonderful introduction of the chief guest. Saravanan sir, now the stage is yours, so you can proceed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. A very pleasant morning to everyone. It's really a honor for me, to address the notable dignitaries, to share my views on entrepreneurship. And as Dr. Bakiraj said, I am an alumni of SNMV CAS. I did my UG in commerce, passed out in 1999, and I passed out my master's in foreign trade in 2001. So it was the college that gave me a very good, start, because through the college only I was placed in a reputed company called Roots Industries Limited, where I worked for about 1.5 years. It is through the guidance given by the department and with the support of the college, I was able to start my career well. And I will never forget the kind of exposure I got from the college and from my department. So every time, whenever I address, to my students, I would proudly say that I'm an alumni of SNMV CAS. And I'm so astonished and surprised to see the growth of the institution. And I wish many more laurels and many more success, which brings to the institution and to the faculty members of the college. And let me start sharing my screen. All right. To begin with, let me just tell you a Kuti story. Please pay attention, listen to me, right? And what is the story all about? The story is all about entrepreneurship, today's topic, right? And first of all, to begin with, who is an entrepreneur? We have to understand who is an entrepreneur and what is entrepreneurship. And an entrepreneur is a person, he is an individual, I must say, who creates a new business. And when he creates a new business, it means that he bears most of the risks, and also he enjoys the rewards out of the business. And the process of setting up of a business is known as entrepreneurship. And the concept of entrepreneurship, it came into existence in the early 17th century. It is merely starting one's own business. And entrepreneurs, they play a very important role in any economy for that matter, because they use their skills, they use their initiatives, in order to satisfy the customers, and they bring in good ideas into the market. So entrepreneurship is nothing but the process of setting up of a business is called as entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is beneficial in many ways, I must say, because the benefits of entrepreneurship are never ending. Many people choose to be an entrepreneur. The main reason is that they are their own bosses. They can extract the work which is to be done from a specific time and place, and they are very free to work. They can work in a flexible schedule from any location they want, and they will be tailoring their work, depending upon their lifestyle and other commitments. And you must understand that entrepreneurship requires a lot of managerial skills. Managerial skills in the sense a good decision making, and he should be able to do so confidently, which will boost his self-esteem. basically you have to understand that entrepreneurs are people who do business on their own, and they confidently pursue their passion because they are so passionate about doing doing things in a different way, and so they are very passionate about how they carry out their work. And entrepreneurs are basically people with good leadership qualities. And one of the biggest benefits of being an entrepreneur is that you learn many things. These learnings are just not limited to your own industry, but you learn about marketing. You learn about you know managing money. You can even know about how to handle people. You know. Dealing with risks which you may not have anticipated, and you even know to get work done in the most effective way. And so you have to understand that entrepreneurs more often they just don't stick on to profitability, achieving profit. No, entrepreneurs, profitability is one part of a requirement of an entrepreneur, but the major stake is that they have to fulfill the customer's needs. And only when fulfilling the customer's needs, the entrepreneurs, they reap good profits, and they also create wealth for themselves. And another important benefit I could say is that one of the driving factors of entrepreneurship is they are able to satisfy a variety of customers because they deal with so many sophisticated goods and services. They satisfy an array of customers, and so this will motivate the entrepreneurs to introduce new products into the market because of the support, because of the recognition they get from the customers, from the market. It will make them to introduce new products into the market. It could be anything. It could be related to electronics, it could be related to clothing, it could be related to automobiles, anything. So when new products are increased in the market, in returns, the new products, it will improve the standard of living of the consumer. Thereby, the entrepreneur helps in improving the standard of living of the consumer. So that is a benefit, of being an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurship is, I said, it's a business run by one person. It involves a lot of factors, lot of resources are required. So the entrepreneur have to first identify those resources, and he should exploit those resources in such a way that the resources creates a lot of job opportunities. And entrepreneurs, what they do, they release new products into the market. And entrepreneurship basically, it enable new markets to develop in the form of goods, in the form of services, and in the form of technology. And entrepreneurs, they are innovative. They are generating employment opportunities, and they're also self-reliant. They don't depend on others, in the sense that they are independent when it comes to work, when it comes to execution, when it comes to implementation. They just don't depend on the others. They decide what is to be done and what is not to be done. And that is another benefit of being an entrepreneur. And when a new product is introduced by the entrepreneur, it will encourage the consumers to adhere to new trends and technology. See, those gone are those days where we went to a shop to buy products, where we go physically, we just go in and around the shop, and just we buy whatever we require, we pay cash and we come back. Now everything is completely different. everything is done through online. You want to order a food from a hotel, you can do it. You want to order a ticket, you want to travel abroad, you can order it through online. You want to shop a product, you can shop it through online. So everything is, it is changing. So the entrepreneurs, they encourage the consumers, to adapt to new trends and technology. So gone are those traditional ways of using products and services. So consumers, they have the open mind, to accept new innovation which is being introduced in the market. So whereby it will increase the morale of the consumer, and it will increase the standard of living of the consumer, and even the quality of life, I could say, it improves. And more specifically, if an entrepreneur is into international business where he's exporting goods and importing goods, the more the products are exported to the world market, the more will be the foreign exchange revenue. So because of which large scale exports of goods and services, the entrepreneur will receive more foreign exchange revenue into the country. That will indirectly improve the entrepreneur as well as the economy. And another one benefit of being an entrepreneur is that when something is new is introduced into the market, so when a technology is introduced, or when a product is introduced, or when something is introduced into the market, it will allow the entrepreneur to create a demand in the market. That there should be a demand for the product in the market, and the consumers should trust the product. They should believe that, okay, this product will be of some use to me. So this will result in being one of the major trusted person in the market. So every consumer will try to, look into you, will try to, get in touch with you, will try to associate with you, because you have something you have done something for them. So in return, they wish to stay connected with you. So this is another benefit of being an entrepreneur. So entrepreneurship, an entrepreneur, it is of huge beneficial to the, not only to the entrepreneur, also to the society. And when we talk about the plus, we have to discuss also about the disadvantages, I could say, or the drawbacks, we could call it as, of an entrepreneurship. And see, they almost entrepreneurs, they face with an increasing risk of business failure, because markets are volatile, markets are dynamic. It is not functioning as the way we expect, and the market demand is not very certain, and sometimes you may even earn profits which are very, very less. So in that case, the income you earn is uncertain, which will definitely be a very big burden for you to run your business. And another most important drawback of an entrepreneur is that when you don't have the managerial competence, or when you don't have adequate experience, into the field, or when you're not uh, you're not you're not accustomed with adequate financial resources, or when you don't have the adequate plan of inventory control. Say when you have excess inventory, it will create more expenditure for you. And so, when you are not able to cope up with the entrepreneurial transitions in the market, so because of that, entrepreneurs might face various obstacles which will become impossible for them to continue their business. And then I could say that one more reason is that why entrepreneurs fail today. It's not because of they don't have a business plan. It's because of they don't have a clear mission. They have a plan, and they really know how to execute it, But when it comes to a mission statement of their business, say for example, mission statement is after 5 years, I have to be one of the successful entrepreneur. So for that, what should he do? He has to really work hard. He should have a definite business plan, and he should work as per the plan. All that. So when the mission statement itself is not clear, even though you have a definite business plan, it will not be of any help. It will be of not any help to the entrepreneur. And another problem or another drawback the entrepreneur have encountered is the ethical problems, because when they introduce new technology into the market, when they introduce innovative business techniques into the market, they are the first person to introduce it. Okay, they might be the first person to introduce it into the market, and sometimes they may encounter some ethical dilemmas, where the demand of the innovations could be complex. It might be the customers are not so tech savvy to accept it. Maybe the customers are not so. Maybe the customers are not so, so knowledgeable to accept it. So in that case, the entrepreneurs they fail. And suppose in order to, if you are planning to go international, so what the person has to do is he has to have adequate knowledge in the domestic market. At the same time, he should have an overall intelligence of the legal system prevailing in the another country where he's trying to trade with. Not only legal system about the commercial aspects, the political conditions, the market conditions, all those have to be clearly understood by the entrepreneur. So when he's not able to do that, definitely he will be in a risk. And suppose an entrepreneur does not have an understanding on an intellectual property, where he does not protect his his business or his product by way of patent or trademark or copyright, definitely his product might get duplicated. So which again proves to be futile for him, and it will be a problem for him to continue his business. And another important drawback I could say is that an entrepreneur, when he's entering into an international market, he must understand the kind of financial setup in the country where he's trading with. Maybe he has to be aware of all the rules and regulations of the country, because in law we says ignorance is not an excuse. So simply saying that I don't know, especially in the international market, will not help you in any way. If you are an entrepreneur and if you wanted to do a business in the international market, you have to be aware of all the rules and regulations of the country. So when you are aware about everything A to Z about a country, then you will not encounter any problem. Otherwise, it might affect the new venture. It will affect your business with a new country. And so these are, some of the drawbacks I could say. And one more thing is that the complete responsibility is vested with him, because he is the one who is completely dedicating himself into the business. He is putting in finance, he is putting his hard work, he has his complete dedication into the business. So the complete responsibility is vested with the entrepreneur. That will allow him with a high level of stress. When somebody is there to share, it will not be a problem. But in case where he is the only person who has to face everything, the complete responsibility which is vested on his shoulders itself will create a high level of stress to the entrepreneur. And sometimes, even though by being very cautious, there are chances of losing your money. Because when your products are not accepted in the market, when you have a tough competition in the market, when you are in a position that you cannot cope up with the competition So ultimately, your business will be futile, and you might not be able to, get back the amount that you've invested into the business. So there is a high risk of losing your entire investment. So these are, some of the drawbacks of the entrepreneurs. And the next thing is the difference between an intrapreneur and an entrepreneur. And you might have heard about entrepreneur, but we should understand who is an intrapreneur. An intrapreneur is basically a person who works on uh, creating new ideas within the confines of the business that he is already associated with. He's working in an organization, and so he's generating new ideas. He's generating new products within the business that he's already into it. And so this entrepreneur are person who have high entrepreneurial skills. They have a very good vision, and they have a very good forward thinking that they have in the company. And intrapreneur will, it will allow the person to create new ideas and even business goals, without taking on the risks. So an entrepreneur need not take up a risk. So he can just suggest ideas to the entrepreneur, where the entrepreneur takes the complete responsibility of facing the risk. And now we can understand the difference between an intrapreneur and an entrepreneur. We have 4 points of differences with regard to dependency. An intrapreneur depends on the entrepreneur because he's generating ideas. He submits his business plan, his ideas to the entrepreneur, the owner of the firm. Entrepreneur, as we know, he is an independent person. The responsibility, the profits, everything is vested with him. And when it comes to risk management, risk taking, intrapreneur need not bear the risk because he's a part of the entrepreneur. He is a part of an organization. He can just contribute business ideas. That's it. Whereas an entrepreneur, he has to bear the risk involved in the business. And when it comes to the execution or the implementation part, an intrapreneur operates from inside the organization. An entrepreneur is a person who operates from outside. He used to have contacts with many people, so he operates from outside. And when it comes to innovation, on entrepreneurs, they take the complete responsibility of innovating. And what the entrepreneurs would do is they will create the ideas into opportunities. Whatever business plan that has been formulated, that would be put into action, into viable opportunities, so that the entrepreneur would generate profit. So these are the differences between an intrapreneur and an entrepreneur. And next we move on to the various types of entrepreneurs. You have about several types, but the most important types I'm confining here are with 6 in number. The first one is innovators. And the second one is hustle entrepreneur. The third type of entrepreneur is imitators. The fourth type of entrepreneur is researcher. The fifth one is buyer. And the last one is Fabian entrepreneur. So these are the various types of entrepreneurs in the market. And now we will discuss one after the other. Who is an innovator? See, innovator are people, what they completely come out with new ideas, and those ideas are confined into viable opportunities. They are confined into viable opportunities, and the entrepreneurs, these type of innovators, what they do is they change the way people think about, and accordingly they try to satisfy the people. So these type of entrepreneurs are extremely passionate, and they are very obsessive, and they derive their motivation from their business idea, and they want to stand aloof, they wanted to stand away from the crowd. Okay, பத்தோட ஒண்ணா இல்லாம, they wanted to be always outstanding, they want to stand outside from the crowd, and they also find new ways to enter into a market. So for that, what they do is they choose several product differentiation strategies that will make them stand out from the crowd. And it is just not standing out from the crowd, but also creating a new crowd, creating new customers. See, these type of innovators, what they do, they try to maintain the existing customers. At the same time, they just wanted to attract new customers. And what happens if the existing customer goes and when a new customer is added, it is like adding water to a leaking bucket. So when you add water to a leaking bucket, what will happen? It is like the existing customers go and new customers are added. There's no point in that. See, as an innovative entrepreneur, he has to retain the existing customers. At the same time, he has to attract new customers into the market. So by doing that, he will be able to generate more viable business. So I could say that few of the innovative entrepreneurs are Steve Jobs, Larry Page of Google, and Bill Gates, the Microsoft founder. They were obsessed with their business, and they did their best, to be different from the others. So these are the examples for innovative entrepreneurs. And the next one is hustle entrepreneurs. Hustlers, these people are, they just don't mind working very hard, and even if their hands get dirty, they don't mind it, because they have a very wide vision, and these people, they just think, they start small, and once their ideas are accepted, once their ideas are converted into action, then they increase their capital to improve their businesses, and their prime focus is starting small with the goal of becoming bigger in the future. Not today, in the future, definitely I will have a very good stand. So they start small, they focus.
Excuse me, Saravanan sir. I think you have some problem in the mic, I think so, sir.
Now, am I audible, Vijay Chitra ma'am?
Sir.
Okay. Is my presentation clear now? Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. All right. So we were just discussing about hustle entrepreneur. They just focus with starting small, with the goal of becoming bigger in the future. And they really dream well, and they really work really hard to achieve them. They just don't dream and they let it go. No, they dream and they'll work extremely hard to achieve them. And these people are very focused, and whatever distractions they have, whatever risks they have, they try to get rid of it. So this is called hustle entrepreneur, and the perfect example of a hustle entrepreneur is Mark Cuban. He's basically an American billionaire entrepreneur, and he started in a very young age, selling trash bags, newspapers, and even postage stamps. And this hustle entrepreneur later, he created a gold mine, which was acquired by the internet giant Yahoo. So hustle entrepreneur, they don't mind getting their hands dirty, and they really work hard. They focus on starting small with a view to achieve big in the future. And they not only dream, but at the same time, they really work hard to achieve them. So this is hustle entrepreneur. And the next one is imitators. As the name implies, imitators, they are copycats. What they do is they copy certain business ideas from the others and they try to improve upon them. And they are imitators are half innovators and half hustlers. They just don't stick to the terms set by the other people, but these people have lot of self-confidence, and they are always looking for improving a particular product in a better manner, so that they could get an upper hand in the market. The best example I could give is the Walton, Bangladesh. The imitative entrepreneurs, they'll do business of an existing product in any other country. Walton, Bangladesh is number one electronic appliances market in Bangladesh. And this particular company, they had introduced its motorbikes, refrigerators, televisions, and even other electronic appliances in Bangladesh, because they are not the original inventor of these products. They just copy the extended version and they market it and they sell it. So that's how they are successful in Bangladesh. Walton BD, Bangladesh. BD stands for Bangladesh. And the next type of entrepreneur is researcher. See, even after having an idea, you have an idea in your mind, and they'll take time to gather all the relevant information about it. They wish to analyze the complete pros and cons of taking up a particular task, because to them failure is just not an option, because they have analyzed from all the angles. And they usually believe in starting a business that has a high chance of succeeding, because they have they had complete dedication towards it, and they understood in all aspects. So there is no chance of making mistakes. So the best example I could give is the Jeff Bezos, the chairman and CEO of Amazon. He's the best example for a researcher entrepreneur, because Amazon, they are into market and they really have a very good brand image in the current market scenario. So this is an example of a researcher entrepreneur. Yeah, the next one is buyers. Buyers are people. They have the money, and what they do is they just go buy a promising business in another place, because they will identify their profits, their viability of improving, and they also find out how they can acquire the company, and they find a suitable person to run, and finally they go. So they are called as buyers, because when they buy an already established venture, which is already running really well, it will be the risk will be less. They need not spend much of their time in promotion, because it is an already established one, and they have to just maintain it. So the best example I could give you is Bharti Airtel. We all are aware of it, the country's largest telecommunication company. and they had signed an agreement to buy Varid Telecom. It's in Uganda. So it is now known as Airtel Varid. Airtel Varid. So Airtel is a long-term investor, with a single largest FDI from India to Uganda. And if you happen to see Airtel, they mainly target people in the age group of 50 to 25. And even elderlies are using different campaigns. So that is that is called as buyers. They just buy an already established venture so that they need not spend much of their time in promoting it. The last one is Fabian entrepreneurs. See, they are very cautious and they are very skeptical in experimenting change. These type of entrepreneurs are very shy, a bit lazy, and to a certain extent, they are very lethargic. They do not assess what would be the future. So as a result, they just go away from the market. They are thrown out of the market. A best example I could give you is Kodak. The 90s kids, we all are aware about this company Kodak. It's a company that happened to be the market leaders in producing analog cameras, where we used to, place camera roll inside the camera, and then we used to every time we used to rotate it, or sometimes it might be automatic. So we use film roll will be there, and after the roll is over, we used to give it to a camera photo lab, where they used to develop the roll and they print it and give it as a photograph. So Kodak was very successful in the early 90s, but they did not realize the change and the introduction of the digital camera, the DSLR camera. Even now we have the smartphones where you can take very good pictures with good clarity. So ultimately they lost their market, Kodak. So those are called as Fabian entrepreneurs. And now we move on to the various characteristics of an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur should have a very good technical skill, as was already said. And in order to be successful, they should have a very good managerial competencies. And they should be hardworking, they should be self-confident, they should not give up. All those things are there. And they should believe themselves. They should believe that they will be able to achieve it. So they will be able to achieve their ultimate goal. So even they have to look back, and what they have to analyze, what is the reason for the failure? And they have to see it as a feedback, so that the next step they take should be even better. So entrepreneurship is above all, it's something doing and thinking about how things can be done better. So that is, a need for a thing. Then entrepreneurs are made; they are not born. See, nobody is born with a silver spoon, and nobody has the inherent. Some might have some inherent or inborn talent in them, but entrepreneurs, as we say, they are not born; they are made, I must say, because of the family environment playing a very important role. And entrepreneurs, mainly they have self-employed parents who really support them, who encourage them, who motivate them. And even a small achievement, they really appreciate a lot. And those parents, they give us some sort of responsibility to the entrepreneur, to the person. So that will make him an entrepreneur in the future. And entrepreneurs are completely independent. It's not about achieving in a day. It's not about achieving in a day. It is about the determination about how you run a business and how you do it successfully. That is more important. because today markets are highly competitive, markets are highly volatile, so you are operating in an uncertain environment. In that case, certain decisions you take might be good sometimes, might be bad sometimes. So you should have a great deal of self-respect for you, and you should have the drive to achieve more in your business. And self-confidence, it is something very important, and it is concerned about how a person feels about his ability. When you are confident, you'll know that you are capable of achieving your goals. So if you happen to see the track record of highly successful entrepreneurs, two things will be there. One is self-confidence, the other one is self-esteem. You have to be confident. You should not be blue. You should not feel hurt when you are oppressed by the competitors. So you have to have an upbeat, and you should have an attitude of self-confidence that will really elevate you to the next level. And self-sacrifice, you if you happen to see, nothing in this world is free. Everything has a price for it. So entrepreneurs, they should be willing to sacrifice certain things. Their time spent with your parents, with your family, with your friends, all that. So it is something very essential, which is a necessary trait for an entrepreneur. You can think about our parents' sacrifice they had when they raised us. நம்மளை வளர்க்கும் போது நம்மளோட அப்பா அம்மா எவ்வளோ சாக்ரிஃபைஸ் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க. நம்ம குழந்தைகளுக்கு நம்ம எவ்வளோ சாக்ரிஃபைஸ் பண்றோம். ஸோ வீட்டளவில் இப்படி இருக்கும்போது ஒரு ஆண்டர்பிரனரா வந்து he has to do a lot of self sacrifice. Only then he will be able to achieve the heights, success. Because success is not very easy. Always the position in the top is vacant. அந்த வழியில தான் அத்தனை கூட்டம் இருக்கும். நிறைய பேர் what they do, they just give up. என்னால முடியாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லி they just give up. But only person who works with determination, who have perseverance, they really achieve to the great heights, and finally they achieve success in the end. Technical proficiency. I said no. You should not be following the traditional method of strategies. In an entrepreneurship business, but you have to have many strategies, many ideas for growing your business. Today, a good example what we can do is everybody are focusing on social media, and hopefully all of you are aware about with the basics of Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and all that. So social media or promotion is giving a very big impact. And the other one new strategy I could give you is the user experience. It is nothing but the process of increasing the user satisfaction, by improving the usability, the accessibility, and the pleasure the consumers get, when they use a product. I could give you examples of Spotify அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு app இருக்கு. Then we have the Facebook, Instagram, Uber. These are some of the recent tech savvy apps which have gained a very good user experience. The users are able to share their experience, and in such a way that the entrepreneurs are technically proficient. All right. Now we move on to the next one, that is the opportunities for the entrepreneurs. What are all the opportunities which are before them? Opportunities are plenty. Entrepreneurs can enter into a market in any of these 5 ways. That is buying a franchisee. The second one is distributorship or dealership. Third one is network marketing. Fourth one is licensing. And the fifth one is filling and itching. Franchising. Franchising is basically, a right which the manufacturer gives to the others. So with that right, what can be done? It will allow the beneficiaries to sell the product of these manufacturers. And sometimes these rights, they could be even in terms of access to intellectual property rights, allowing the beneficiary to use the product, the intellectual property right of the owner. And I could give you an example. Several fast food chains like Domino's, McDonald's, they operate all over the world through franchising. So this is one way where an entrepreneur have an opportunity to explore. The second one is distributorship or dealership. It is like simply means they are intermediaries. A distributor is a person who has an agreement to sell the products produced by another company. He is distributing on a wholesale basis. He takes the distribution of many products. It could be unique, it could be a diversified products. But a dealer is like a distributor, but a dealer is focusing on just one product. And Amway distributors, they are always called as the independent business owners. So what they do is they market the products directly to the customers, and even they encourage the other people to become independent business owners. It is like this is an example for distributorship or dealership. Avon, Amway, Vestige. These are examples for distributorship or dealership. The next one is network marketing. Network marketing is like, it's like a business concept that relies on independent agents. They sell to people generally from their home. What you have to do is you have to improve a network. Network of whom? Network of business partners. So what you can do is they frequently construct several layers of salespeople. So what they do, you give some incentives to salespeople so that they may be able to recruit their own networks of salespeople. A good example for network marketing is the Tupperware, which we are all are aware of. Tupperware. Tupperware is one of the most well-known multi-level marketing organization in the world. Tupperware is very new to us, but it was founded in the United States in 1938. And what they normally do is plastic food storage containers. So every minute, you will not believe, approximately 40 Tupperware parties are held throughout the world. A good example for network marketing. Avon. Avon is a cosmetic company. And in 2020, they had a revenue of $3.63 billion. And it is one of the world's largest multi-level marketing. Network marketing sometimes refer to multi-level marketing. And next one is Herbalife. Herbalife is again an example for network marketing. And it was founded in 1980. And they sell dietary supplements. People who have diabetes, for all those people suffering from health ailments, those dietary supplements are supplied. So it is a good example for multi-level marketing. The next one is licensing. Licensing is, for example, a restaurant, what they can do is they can make use of the name of McDonald's if they only have acquired licensing by McDonald's Corporation, simply using the name. McDonald's company, what they do, they sell its licensing in the form of McDonald's franchisee. And if suppose if you are using it without their permission, it will lead to infringement of trademark. So you will be penalized. Another example I could give you is the example of Nestle and Starbucks. And Nestle and Starbucks, it's a coffee company, entered into a $7.15 billion coffee licensing deal. So Nestle is the licensee, Starbucks is the licensor. So Nestle agreed to pay $7.15 billion in cash to Starbucks for exclusive rights to sell Starbucks products. Nestle has agreed to sell the products of Starbucks, like coffee, tea, baked beans, etc., all over the world through Nestle's global distribution network. And additionally, Starbucks will receive royalty from Nestle. So for Nestle, the company gained access to Starbucks products and they had improved a strong brand image. So licensing is one of the highly profitable business opportunities. It is something where you have to use your talent to market it, to promote it, to sell, to literally sell yourself in the market so that the products are accepted by the end user. The last one is niche. You always have, if you are from the customer's point of view, you really wanted to buy a product which is comparatively cheaper than the others. இப்போ ஒரு கடைக்கு போறோம் அப்படின்னா விலை கம்மியா இருக்கிற ஒரு பொருளை தான் நம்ம வந்து வாங்குவோம். ரெண்டு கடையில கேட்குறோம், ஒரு கடையில வந்து விலை அதிகமா இருக்கு, இன்னொரு கடையில வந்து விலை கம்மியா இருக்கு. ஸோ நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம், எங்க வந்து விலை கம்மியா இருக்கோ அந்த பொருளை, அந்த கடையில தான் அந்த பொருளை வந்து வாங்குவோம். அண்ட் இது வந்து ஒரு செட் ஆஃப் கஸ்டமர்ஸ். ஒரு செட் ஆஃப் கஸ்டமர்ஸ் என்ன எப்படி இருப்பாங்க அப்படின்னா, ஈவன் தே டோன்ட் மைண்ட் பேயிங் அ லிட்டில் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா. ஏன்னா அவங்களுக்கு வந்து அடிஷ்னல் பெனிஃபிட்ஸ் வந்து அவங்களுக்கு கிடைக்குது. ஒன்றும் இல்லை, இப்போ நீங்க வந்து ஒரு ஐநாக்ஸ் போறீங்க, ஸோ அங்க வந்து நீங்க படுத்துட்டே வந்து படம் பார்க்கலாம், அந்த ப்ரொவிஷன் இருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி உங்க சீட்டுக்கே வந்து நீங்க ஸ்நாக்ஸ் ஆர்டர் பண்ணீங்கன்னா உங்க சீட்டுக்கே கொண்டு வந்து டெலிவர் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ அதுக்கு வந்து யூ ஹாவ் டு பே அ பிட் லிட்டில் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா சார்ஜ் டு த தியேட்டர். பே பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா யூ ஹாவ் ஆல் த ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ் அண்ட் the snacks will be delivered at your place. ஸோ அந்த இடத்துல வந்து அடிஷ்னல் பெனிஃபிட்ஸ் கிடைக்குது அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக கஸ்டமர்ஸ் தே டோன்ட் மைண்ட் பேயிங் அ லிட்டில் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா. ஸோ பிகாஸ் niche market அப்படிங்கிறது என்னன்னா, it is a subset of the market on which a product is focused. ஸோ ஒரு தியேட்டர்ல படம் பார்க்க போறோம் அப்படின்னா அது கூட ரிலேட்டடா இருக்கிற மற்ற ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் என்னென்ன, பார்க்கிங், ஸ்நாக்ஸ், அந்த மாதிரி. And if you happen to see the travel industry, 2020 was a very bad year for everyone. Most affected industry was the travel industry, because everywhere the international flights are cancelled. But that does not mean travel industry itself is completely gone. So in the future, definitely the travel looks bright. But the niche audiences within the industry are changing. அவங்க வந்து இன்டர்நேஷனல் விசிட்ஸ் தான் போகணுங்கிறது இல்லை, within low cost, within the country, low cost travel prefer பண்றாங்க, budget travel prefer பண்றாங்க. They even plan for trekking, or they even plan for remote travel, and they can have a long-term stay in a particular place. All that is happening. So just not international visits, even within the country, they are planning for slow travel, remote travel, long-term stays, trekkings, all that they do. So there are plenty of opportunities for entrepreneurs who are focusing in the domestic economy. And one more example I could give you is the gaming. See, everyone are addicted to playing video games. அது வந்து குழந்தைகள்ல இருந்து பெரியவங்க வரைக்கும் எல்லாருமே வந்து they are addicted to games. It has traditionally seen as a niche market because the video games are dominated by the younger male population. When compared to female kids, younger male population are dominating the gaming industry, I could say. So, but the pandemic வந்ததுனால அந்த 19 எண்ட்ல இருந்து pandemic வந்ததுனால the customer persona niche is changing because not only the younger population, women gamers இருக்காங்க, middle-aged gamers இருக்காங்க, even mom, they free-ஆ இருக்கிற டைம்ல even they spend their time in playing games. They all exist. So again, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பிளாட்ஃபார்ம் வந்து entrepreneurs are creating. அதுக்கு தந்தாப்புல நிறைய கேம்ஸ் வந்து இருக்கு. And another example I could give you is the pet owners. இப்போ அமெரிக்கா பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா the total expenditure for the pet industry in the US மட்டுமே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 2020ல $123.38 billion. So idhila pathina there are lots of opportunities to develop a niche within this market because there is one company called Patricia Scorcher. No, this is what I'm explaining. The last point is what I'm explaining. So I'm not changing the slide, dear participant. Okay, in the niche ku than examples koduttirukken. So there's one company called Patricia Scorcher in America. So அவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா they sell personalized kaftans, they sell personalized pillows, pajamas, blankets. அதுல வந்து அந்த பெட்டோட பிக்சர் வச்சு அவங்க வந்து அவங்களோட அந்த பெட் ஓனர்ஸ்க்கு வந்து கொடுக்குறாங்க. ஸோ இன்னொன்று பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய பேர் they have pets like fish, dogs, cats. But there are also pets like horses, lizards, turtles, each with their own opportunities. So அந்த மாதிரி pet owners-க்கு என்னென்ன மாதிரியான ஒரு entrepreneurs target பண்றாங்கன்னா pet cameras, to watch and interact with pets when you're not at home. Imagine you have to go to a workplace. So angirunda you can have an interaction with pets using the pet cameras, and even you can have GPS pet trackers, so you will be able to know where your pet animal is. And even you can have entrepreneurs can provide with personalized products with pets photos, and even you have accessories and clothing for pets. நிறைய dogs, cats, you can have accessories and clothing, and even organic pet food. You can healthy dietary food can be given for pets. So these are something which in which an entrepreneur has an opportunity to expand. So thank you so much. So this is what I just wanted to tell. In nutshell, entrepreneurs are people who have a high business domain, who wanted to expand their market with their unique selling brand. They have their own brand identity, and they are the one who face the challenges, who takes the complete responsibility in their shoulders, and they have to be highly dynamic. They should adhere to the changes which are taking place in the market, and they have to give their complete dedication. Only then they will be able to succeed in the market. So that's it. Any questions you can please raise, the participants.
Thank you, sir. That was a wonderful presentation. Really, you have given us a very wide knowledge on what are the benefits of entrepreneurs, what are the drawbacks that an entrepreneur face, and also on the types of entrepreneurs. Really, even people without the background of commerce were able to understand what an entrepreneur should have and what are the skills that an entrepreneur should definitely have, and what type of entrepreneur thing we can take out, like as you said, Fabians, and also like other type imitators, like that hustle startup. Also like that, you have given us a good thank you so much, sir. Really, it was a wonderful session. Thank you so much, sir. Participants, if you have any queries regarding this, you can raise your questions, or you can post it in the chat box.
Good afternoon, sir. Vijay.
Yes, Vijay. Yes, Vijay.
Sir,
how are you?
my doubt is like as according to your presentation, like according to different knowledge, entrepreneurship is a person who takes the risk and he is doing a business, etc. I agree to all that. My question is that during this pandemic time, after 2019, those people, those who wanted to start a new business, they pretend to fail in their operations or fail in the business. So how come they be self-motivated again? Like even though they fail in the business, is there any technique or any doubt or anything to make us self-motivated again?
Vijay, thank you for the lovely question.
Thank you for the lovely question.
1 second. Am I audible, Vijay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, see, that was a lovely question, Vijay. The thing was, the pandemic has ultimately brought a standstill to almost all the industries, and even a well-reputed organization is affected by this COVID pandemic. Nobody is an exception. Everyone, whether it is X or Y or Z, a multimillionaire or a large-scale enterprise, a small-scale enterprise, a medium-scale enterprise, everyone were affected by this COVID pandemic. And obviously, if an entrepreneur wants to start a business, and really he has to think about whether is it the right time to start. Because when the market is in downturn, it is not advisable for him to start a business. So if the market conditions are promising, if the business seems to be highly encouraging, then he can start about his entrepreneur, a business, whatever he wanted to start. And of course, the government is always there to support him, and provided he has to think about his financial background, his technical proficiency, his working team to support him. And when he has all this, and when customers are always ready to accept the products from the manufacturer, it would be a better opportunity for an entrepreneur to start. And of course, as you said, entrepreneurs are human beings. Even they are human beings. So even a small failure will affect them a large. So what they have to do it should not let them go into their head, and they have to see to it that they work really hard. They should be self-motivated. They have to be highly encouraging. Let them not wait somebody to give a pat on their shoulders. They themselves can give a pat on their shoulder when they did something great. So this will motivate the entrepreneur. Despite of several odds, they will be able to highly perform, and they will be highly successful in the market.
I think you are convinced with the answer.
Convinced, ma'am. I have
Thank you
another
very
doubt.
much.
Can I ask a doubt? Second doubt, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Scenario, like not even before COVID also, like during get the finance, for the finance, as finance is one of the main we need to do a business. Each individual, as you told, like entrepreneurship takes a lot of activities, a lot of interest to do a business. So this financial problem, each and every person feels it. So how to overcome, like whether they can keep collecting the finance, like in between, like when you go for a loan, taking loans from the bank, like after some years, the bank starts asking for the loan back. When entrepreneur fails in his business, is unable to pay. So how to maintain that financial level?
Thank you, Vijay. Again, that was another lovely question. See, I could say that an entrepreneur need not wait till he completes his graduation, because there are so many student entrepreneurs are there, who do their startup, who do their startup business, who do lots of activities while they study. So during their undergraduation, during their post-graduation itself, they get lots of exposure. So from the scratch, they can plan well about their financial outlay, about their requirements, about the funds that they need, and they also have to ascertain the funds they have it with them, and to what extent they can get from their parents, and to what extent they can get from the financial institutions and all that. So once he has a clear picture about his financial requirement, he can then plan accordingly. Definitely, the financial institutions are always at the doorstep of the entrepreneurs, and there are so many schemes given by the introduced by the government to encourage the budding entrepreneurs. And as already said, they are more orientation is being given for them, and several awareness programs are also given to the entrepreneurs regarding the financial meeting the financial requirements, meeting their market needs, meeting their various risks that may be encountered by them while doing their business. So by doing this, an entrepreneur is always on a safer side, so that they may get support from everyone, from their parents, from their friends, from the government, from the society, from the customers, from everyone. So it will not be a problem for him, to plan his financial requirements. The thing is, he should really plan from the scratch, because an entrepreneur will not start today, will expand tomorrow. It takes a process. It is a process, and that process will take so many months, so many years to accomplish. So for that, an entrepreneur has to plan well, and he has to decide about his financial requirements, and then he can proceed. Hope I did justice to your question, Mr. Vijay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for clearing my doubt. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So thank you, Saravanan sir, for your wonderful presentation as well as answering to the queries. Now I request Mr. S. Selvajayanti, a member of IIC, to propose the vote of thanks. Good afternoon, one and all gathered here. I would like to present the vote of thanks with this quote: "The roots of all goodness lies in the soil of appreciation." Dalai Lama. I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the Chief Guest, Dr. M. Saravanan, Associate Professor, Department of International Business, PSG CAS, Coimbatore, who spared time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion and enlighten us with great presentation on entrepreneurship, skill, attitude, and behavior development. It's a wonderful session, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
On behalf of IIC, I express my gratitude to the management and secretaries. I thank our well-wisher Principal Dr. Subramani sir for his support and the commitment. My heartfelt thanks to IIC Coordinator Dr. A. Vijaychitra ma'am for valuable guidance and encouragement. My special thanks to all the IIC members and the faculty members of SNMV and other institutions, and as well as I have to thank dear students for their cooperation
in the meeting has to be successful one. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.